Good morning. Are we ready?
We're ready at your discretion, sir.
Okay. Dean, we have, who's going to do the plugs this morning?
I believe Commissioner Boyce is up.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's begin this morning's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Try that again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Recorder O'Connor's dogs have joined the show.
Savannah's enjoying the show, yes.
Kilroy and Mayo are with us in the house. All right. Still getting situated here in the kitchen this morning. All right. So I want to remind everybody that this morning's meeting, like all meetings, this is a public meeting, therefore it's being recorded. So please conduct yourselves with decorum as you would a meeting where we are all in person. Please hit *6 to mute your phone if you are on a phone this morning. If you are on Zoom, the mute button is in your upper right. Questions from the media will be at the end of the meeting. Let's begin. I'll need an approval of the minutes of the April 23rd, 2020 briefing session and the April 18th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 24th, 2020 administrative briefings.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
The minutes have been approved. Thank you.
All right, on to the engineer. And then we have our engineer, Cornell Robertson, this morning without a mask. He's indoors too.
Yes, no mask today. I'm teleworking from home.
All right. Welcome.
Thank you.
Resolution number 285-20, establishing, altering, and widening of Brown Road, County Road number 142 from Frank Road, County Road number 125 to US Route 62, Harrisburg Park, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
For the record, my name is Cornell Robertson, County Engineer for everyone in Franklin County. Commissioners, this first resolution is, as was stated, for Brown Road, and that's going to extend from Frank Road north to US 62. This particular resolution is first in a series of two to declare the project necessary. We're looking to widen the lanes, improve drainage, and add pedestrian facilities. Thank you. Was I on mute?
Is it?
Commissioner Boyce.
Is that me? I thought we were doing the public hearing. I'm sorry. Waiting on that. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 285-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yeah.
Resolution number 285-20 has been adopted.
All right, now we have a public hearing. Dean, if you could read the public hearing into the record.
Resolution regarding the final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of Morris Road, County Road number 17 at Babbitt Road, County Road number 106, Plain Township and Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, while we wait for people to assemble to the virtual mic to give public comment, I can describe the project. This is in the northeast part of Franklin County, again on the line between Jefferson and Plain Townships. This is at the intersection of Morris Road and Babbitt, and we are looking to design a single lane roundabout. This is a cooperative project with ODOT, and we are utilizing federal safety funds.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 286-20.
Actually, I'm sorry, Commissioner. We need to open the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's
So-
Mr. O'Grady.
Yeah, I would like to open the public hearing for the resolution. Is there anyone in the audience or on the call who would like to speak to the public hearing at this point? It appears as though there isn't anyone, so we will close the public hearing. Clerk, if you could read it into the resolution into the record.
Thank you. Resolution number 286-20. Final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of Morse Road, County Road number 17 at Babbitt Road, County Road number 106, Plain Township and Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
All right. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 286-20.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 286-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 287-20, resolution approving street, storm, and water improvement plans for the farms at Jefferson, Phase 1, 3, 4, and 5, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, this subdivision is in the northeast part of Franklin County in Jefferson Township. It is along Clark State Road, just east of Babbitt. And this particular resolution is for your review, approval, and signature on the title sheet for the plans for the street, storm sewer, and water lines. I do have the title sheet, which I'll literally drop off at the courthouse later today, if you so approve this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 287-20.
And I will second,
Thank you. Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 287-20 has been adopted.
Thank you all very much. I'll stay on the line if you all have any questions for me on a resolution later to come. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We will move on to the sheriff.
Resolution number 288-20, resolution authorizing an agreement with LexisNexis Risk Solutions for current virtual crime center software in the amount of $31,950.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services, representing Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. I'm going to ask that this resolution be tabled until next week. There was a small contract language issue that we ran into late last week. We've since been able to work that out. We just haven't been able to receive those documents yet. So we believe everything will be ready to go for next Tuesday's general session.
Okay. If there are no comments or questions, move to table resolution 288-20 at the request of the submission of the Sheriff's Office. And so we'll table this, I guess, until next week. Correct?
That's
Table for-
correct
table for
from
1 week.
Maureen.
Okay. So we'll table to move to table 1 week.
I'll second,
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 288-20 has been tabled until May 5th's general session.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Dave. To the auditor, Mr. Cinziano.
Resolution number 289-20, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and Simplifile LC on behalf of the auditor, engineer, and recorder for the purposes of establishing a countywide electronic recording system for transfers and conveyances.
Good morning, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown, Michael Stenziano, Franklin County Auditor. This resolution is truly a unique collaboration between the Auditor's Office, the Recorder's Office, and the Engineer's Office that we are happy to present for your consideration. The resolution seeks approval of a memorandum of understanding with SimpliFile LC to establish a countywide electronic recording option for transfer and conveyance of documents. The auditor's office is always looking to leverage new technologies to provide better customer service to the businesses and residents of Franklin County. With the execution of this MOU, Franklin County takes another innovative step into the future, giving the community an option to process the majority of property transfers completely online without needing to navigate the labyrinth that can be the county office building and between the recorder's office, the engineer's office, and other services. SimpliFile ultimately will provide the county with an integrated electronic filing system to expand the ability to process deeds and other transfers of record for real property and mobile homes, saving the residents and businesses time and hopefully effort. It should be catching mistakes, so some of the back and forth that occur. Collectively, the three offices have been exploring an integrative electronic document processing system to streamline these transactions for the benefit of the public. And it's something that I really want to credit and thank the county recorder for bringing to my attention. Even before we took office, his office reached out about their desire to see a integrated system, and then they charged us to help execute it. And so really appreciate Recorder O'Connor and his team for their ongoing leadership and direction. And at this time, if Recorder O'Connor has a little more to highlight in terms of the system's benefit and his office's work with SimpliFile and how this will benefit everyone.
Thank you, Auditor. Recorder Danny O'Connor here. I appreciate the comments that the auditor made. This is an exciting thing for those of us who've been waiting for this to happen for some time. This allows for a lot of efficiency. It allows for each office to have their own interface and control over their unique part of the process. I think that it also allows for efficiencies in payments as well, because there won't be the depositing of checks and accepting of cash. We've seen a lot of e-recordings since this pandemic began, so this resolution is also very, very timely. This is something that, as the auditor stated, will allow for folks to avoid using the county building for a lot of things, and will just improve efficiency across the board. So we've enjoyed working with the auditor's office on this. Our staffs have worked in a very collaborative way, and we're excited to get this done with SimpliFile, and hope that the commissioners will approve the resolution.
This is good work.
Don't know if the engineer wants to add anything either.
Well, I would simply say that I appreciate the collaboration from the auditor and recorder's office on this. The engineer's office is involved, but we're not quite to the level that the auditor and recorder are. And so we're happy to collaborate. We are excited also to be innovative and bring this technology into the current times. And as recorder stated, this is most appropriate for this unfortunate COVID-19 crisis that we find ourselves in. It all plays together, and much of what we're learning at this time, I think, will continue into the future. It, in a way, will be an instrument of our liberation, and we should try and utilize this pandemic to improve our daily lives and our ways of doing business. So thank you to the auditor, to the recorder, and to the Board of County Commissioners. Thank you all very much.
Happy to answer any questions, but we would ultimately request your support of the resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady. May I ask a couple questions before I move to passage?
Absolutely.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank and recognize Auditor Stenziano, Recorder O'Connor, and certainly Engineer Robinson. You know, I think that as chair myself of the Record Retention Committee for Franklin County, this is the type of thing that brings us into 21st century technology and approach. The question I have, and I guess I'll direct this to you first, Auditor Stenziano, is with regards to the record retention schedule and law for the state of Ohio. How do we go about ensuring that, because oftentimes in the retention committee, we're looking at reconciling each agency's compliance with the record retention schedule that's set by the state of Ohio. And so how will you ensure in this fully electronic system, which I think is great, how will you ensure that we're being in compliance before it gets to that committee, or when there are changes that are needed, we're still sort of reconciling what's being carried across the board in that in our records retention committee, which you're also a member of, and I know as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. Appreciate the question. So public records, obviously top of mind. We do appreciate the record retention policy, which we continue to follow, and appreciate your leadership and the rest of the retention policy or retention board's work. We will be working to ensure that we are compliant with all of the sunshine laws, and that we will hold ourselves accountable, as we always do, to make sure that we're meeting those standards and trying to exceed them wherever we can.
Outstanding. Anyone else? I know Recorder O'Connor, I think your office is also represented on the retention schedule. Anything you want to add there in terms of?
No, just that the commitment is maintained and make sure that every sunshine law and every requirement there is followed. So we'll be in good shape with that.
Okay. Well, I'll just add that, both the recorder's office and the auditor's office and the engineer's office, it's been great working with them on the retention committee. And as a county, I can tell you, we all take this very seriously in terms of record retention. And it really matters, because the first time someone comes and they need a copy of their marriage certificate or a copy of their property deed, or and it may be, they're transferring property from one family member to the next. It's always critical for those family members, and having access to it becomes a real issue. I know when I dealt with my grandmother's estate, we dealt with so many things in the county. It was the county that really provided copies of those records in a timely manner that allowed us to move forward in bringing that scenario to a close. And so I think this is outstanding. I think it's good leadership on behalf of all of the folks who are involved. And this is a very good resolution, and wholeheartedly supported. If there are no comments or further comments or questions from anyone, I will move for adoption of 289-20.
And I'll second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 289 sorry, Commissioner.
You said good work, guys.
Thank you.
Resolution number
Thank you
289
all very much.
adopted.
All right. Thanks, guys. On to the emergency.
Thank you.
Agency. Welcome, Director Young.
Resolution number 290-20. Resolution authorizing a consultant contract with Fred C. Bowditch for continued professional services related to critical infrastructure protection and private-public partnerships in the amount of $50,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Young, representing Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. The resolution requests approval of a one-year contract with Mr. Bowditch for the continuation of consultation services related to assisting with Homeland Security work related to outreach and assistance with public-private partnerships, critical infrastructure evaluations, and assisting a broad spectrum of communities and constituencies within Franklin County and throughout entire Homeland Security Region 4. This continues a long-standing relationship with Mr. Bowditch, who has developed a volume of trust and cooperative relationships with different constituencies throughout Franklin County, including the New Americans group, the Ethiopian Services Center, the Jewish Columbus Foundation, as well as the Catholic Diocese, just to name a few of the many. So I'll gladly answer any questions, and I ask for your approval on this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 290-20.
I'll second, and I'd just like to say that Fred is so well trusted among all of those groups you've mentioned, and I'm glad we're able to keep him on board.
Fred's done a great job.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 290-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
On to economic development and planning.
Number 291-20, resolution authorizing an agreement with Central Ohio Community Land Trust to conduct affordable housing development activities on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners in the amount of $2,375,000.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. I'm very happy to bring forward this resolution this morning. As you know, our trusted partner, which has been a good phrase that I know Hope Paxson has coined a long time ago, our trusted partner at Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation has initiated a really innovative way to look at affordable housing for a long-term period. Commissioners, they have last year created the Community Land Trust, and that land trust is achieves permanent affordable housing by retaining ownership of the land under a home within a community trust. While they do that, they sell or rent the home that's on that land to an income eligible buyer. In the case of home ownership, that income eligible buyer executes a 99-year lease. As a condition of that lease, any subsequent sale of the residential unit is limited by a restricted resale formula, which will keep the price of that home affordable for subsequent eligible buyers. The idea here is that we are putting permanent affordable housing into neighborhoods long-term in areas that need them. So I'd like Alex Barris, our Assistant Director, to take you through the actual legislation. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioners, I'll be brief. You know, as Jim said, this is a long-term affordability plan, and one of the two main flagships of our new affordable housing framework. And so I think, just to reiterate, one of the really key parts of this is that there's going to be 99-year affordability in some of these neighborhoods where prices are quickly rising. We've seen this happen in numerous of our neighborhoods in Franklin County, and we want to keep that mixed and diverse income and demographics there in those neighborhoods. Before I let it over to Hope Paxton from the Land Trust, I'll just say that if with your support this morning on this initiative, in combination with last Friday afternoon, we released the Magnet Fund application process for our 4% low-income housing tax credit projects. We are in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. We are still executing on our affordable housing framework that you all set us the task to do. And so we're really proud of that at the department. But to just finish up on the Land Trust, I'd like to let Hope Paxton just speak from the partner's perspective. Hope, you there?
Yes, thank you. On behalf of our COSIC's President Curtis Williams, I'm here today to thank you, Commissioners, for your consideration of this resolution and for the support of funding the Community Land Trust. We do believe this is offering a permanently affordable housing in Franklin County, and in these changing times where affordable housing will remain a constant need, we believe with the Community Land Trust model, where the land stays as a community asset, that the initial investment made by the county will ensure affordability for the first home buyer and subsequent home buyers who follow. We continue to establish a strong pipeline of residents who have high interest in purchasing a Community Land Trust home, and we look forward to developing homes throughout the county with your support this year and next. Thank you very much.
Are there any comments or questions? Seeing that there are none, move for adoption of 291-20.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 291-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners, and have a good morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Justice policy and programs.
Resolution number 292-20, Resolution authorizing a contract with the Make a Day Foundation for the provision of peer support and community-based events in the amount of $18,600.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels, Director of the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. This contract will allow for peer supporter to go into the jail and work with folks who report being homeless at time of release, as well as do community events once those are allowed to reconvene for homeless individuals, and we'll be taking expungement clinics and then hopefully other things like warrant removals and capias removals out into the community so that we can reach more residents where they are. Pending any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 292-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 292-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Michael. Purchasing. Good morning, Megan.
Resolution number 293-20, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,188,162.32.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 56 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, 8 out of 15 eligible POs totaling $59,454 are being presented for award to 1 minority-owned business and 7 women-owned business enterprises. This represents 53% of the eligible PO volume and 43% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 293-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 293-20 has been adopted.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Megan. Community partnerships.
Resolution number 294-20, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 response grant to the Greater Columbus Arts Council to aid arts and cultural organizations in the amount of $500,000.
Good morning, Commissioner. Zach Schlereth with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would provide funding to the Greater Columbus Arts Council to support 4 art and cultural organizations: the Franklin Park Conservatory, the King Arts Complex, Lincoln Theater, and Ohio Alliance for Arts Education. This money is a portion of the money that's been set aside for art and cultural organizations. So this will be advanced to be able to support those organizations through this crisis. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Enthusiastically support this. As you all know, the arts are very much a part of a defining and growing community in Central Ohio. And while the COVID-19 has sort of put life on a hold and deviated much of our work from a growing county before, to me, this investment is critical at this time to ensure that arts continue to remain a very important function and environment of life in Columbus and Central Ohio. So I'm enthusiastically supportive and look forward to working with folks over at GCAC for their continued leadership in the arts community. If there are no further comments or questions.
No, Commissioner Boyce, you said it exactly as I would have said it. It's so important at this time.
Well, and as we talked about the other day, this is important now because, well, this is only a portion of the amount of money that we've committed to the arts for 2020. This is for these particular organizations so that we can continue to help them through this time, through this very difficult time. These are organizations who need these dollars right now to be able to continue to operate, to continue to keep their folks employed, to be able to continue to make it through this difficult time. And so it's a critical, smaller portion of the larger dollars that we've committed at this time. So it's a critical investment right now. And so I also agree with my colleagues. This is a very important investment to make, and it's a very important time to make it. So, thank you.
Thanks to my colleagues. And the only thing I would add is that the creative economy itself is a very big part of Central Ohio. It's a part of the generation of our bed tax. It's a part of the generation of our sales tax. And I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I'm certain that the creative economy contributes hundreds of millions of dollars to the Central Ohio economy. And so this is really an investment into a big and important part of what our broader economy generates. And so I agree with my colleagues and enthusiastically move for adoption of 294-20.
I'll second, and I would also add that as we start coming back slowly, we need the arts and cultural community. We need what arts offers for healing and for our community's soul. You know, we're going to need the arts even more. So I think this is critically important, and the timing is really important to keep the arts in place. So I will second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 294-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Dean, we don't have any journalizations today, do we?
We do not, Commissioner.
Okay, well then that concludes our business for today. We have a administrative briefing at 10 o'clock. Today is a crazy day. So we will see everybody or talk to everybody in about half an hour, a little less. All right.
Great.
Thanks, everybody.
Talk later.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.